So these are our KuneKune. And what's awesome about these they're the pasture pig. So they eat right alongside our sheep, eat the grass, which saves having to buy pig food, which is actually a wonderful thing, cost-wise. And they're great to have around other animals because, especially animals that eat forage like this, because they hang with them and they do exactly what they do. They're very easy on the land, as you can see. They don't root because there is a lot of good things to say about them. We did do a lot of research into a lot of different types of pig. And one of the very first breeds that we came upon was the KuneKune. And this is Wilbur.
This is Wilbur.
Yeah.
This is our second pig. So he likes his belly rubs. I don't know if he'll lay over. But he loves belly rubs. Aren't you, buddy?
So there are a lot of different reasons that KuneKune are great.
So KuneKune are good for a lot of different reasons. And then some downsides to them you're not going to read about. So they're really good. So if you look at their nose is quite stout in their face. And so they don't typically root.
Which means they're easy on the land.
Which means they're easy on the land. They're not going to till it up. They're just going to be quite gentle. They're a smaller pig. They're hairy. Super cute. They have wonderful personalities. They're very docile. They are also famed for their meat. So their pork, and as we're used to seeing pork, it's like a pale color. I've read, not eaten them yet, obviously, that their meat is actually red, like beef. It's wonderfully marbled. They are a lard pig, so they have a lot of lard, which is nice if you're doing things like soap and whatnot. They don't typically test fences. They're just a pretty content animal, which is why we got them. Now, if you might have looked at our previous videos, we had Winnie and Pooh.
Yes.
Piglet and Pooh.
Piglet and Pooh.
Piglet and Pooh. And we bought them 2 barrows, which are fixed males, for meat. And I fell in love with them. As you can flip back to those videos, they love to cuddle in my lap, so we couldn't do it. And so we actually sold them. And then I missed them so much that I was talking to a girl when we went to pick up some ducks, and she was like, well, do you want one? And I was like, oh, God, yes. So that was Wilbur. And then, so we've become kind of like internet close, I guess you could say. And she takes great pride in the KuneKunes. And so,
I was going to say, we have somebody right over your shoulder.
So this is Shroom. And Shroom was the mom, I think, refused them or like
let's
tried
go
to
over
lay on them or something. So her and her, I think it was like a litter actually. I think there was 3 of them. Ended up being pan fed by her in the house. So they lived in the
little
house.
closer.
And
there we go. I just wanted to see them. This is Shroom. So they do have wonderful personalities. If you're looking for a breed for a pet pig,
these ones by far.
Exactly. You see a lot of people get the, what are they called, the little pigs?
They get the pot bellies.
Yes.
And we did have one.
Yeah.
Very smart. Pigs are very smart.
Mm-hmm.
But she was not content to stay in the fence.
Right.
She tested all the fences.
Yeah.
When she would go into season, she would go and out of the, it was without fail, she'd leave the field. And she would try to hump the goats, the sheep, like just creating a ruckus, a problem.
Right.
So that's why Charlotte is no longer here. And, they do root and stuff, which was great. I was going to keep her for that purpose, but just the personality, like, we would have never been able to have Charlotte up here because she'd be digging at the fences to
right.
get out without electric. So
KuneKune are just a content, friendly,
super nice.
And so cute. They, like, people talk about the potbelly pigs. I've looked at all the pigs. Like, seriously, this is a cute pig. These are really cute pigs.
And so, they're just adorable.
They are. These are so much cuter. There is, you said that there were a couple things that you wouldn't read about.
So some of the things that you wouldn't read about. So people highlight these as really great for your homestead because they or a true pasture pig. So as a true pasture pig, you can raise them on this and not have to worry so much about supplementing them with pig food. And in the winter, you can feed them hay, and it's all hunky-dory. These guys will not eat hay. They'll lay in it, but they will not eat hay. They will eat grass, so, you know, that's kind of something there. Apples, apple trees. The other thing is, while they are a smaller pig, they're very slow growing. So to get
Yes.
this pig to market size, if you're going to raise it for that delicious meat that they talk about, that's 18 months, which means you have to overwinter that animal.
Right.
So, you know, to people who don't raise pigs, what that means, a normal like meat pig that people are raising, they're getting in the spring, in the fall, they're off to market.
Right.
Right, so very short couple of months to raise that pig to several hundred pounds.
Right.
It's a huge pig. It takes them 18 months to get to, and you know they're.
And that means you're overwintering them, which you don't normally have to do.
Exactly.
Which is it's a
some more food.
Yeah.
Bedding.
Exactly. Winter's a hard time to have an animal if you cannot have it during that time.
Exactly.
You would never overwinter an animal that you didn't plan to keep. So that goes back to what I was saying, that they make excellent pets. And even more so, and they're small size. I mean, the slow growing means they're, you know, at that kitten stage for that much longer. Exactly.
And, you know, you can ignore them and they're not a feral pig.
Yeah.
So, like, Wilbur, when I got him, he was super great. And then, you know, chaos kind of happened. There's so many projects and stuff, so I didn't spend time with him. And it was like nothing passed. Like, you know, I could just go up and pet him. And, you know, I worked with Charlotte's potbelly pig, and you go near her and she'd still scream her head off.
Yeah.
You know, so just really friendly, docile little things. Even the boars are supposed to be super gentle. We don't have one. We did have one, another female. Her name was Donk, and unfortunately she passed. But we do have these two, and, you know, we're not going to eat them.
No.
I thought about it briefly. Which is easy to do when you're not looking at them.
Yeah.
You know, like in your head, you're like, oh, you know, and offer our clients, you know, some fresh homegrown meat and blah, blah, blah. But then you look at this and you're just like, you're too freaking adorable. I can't.
Are you adorable? Are you adorable, Shroom? Yes. You know who you are.
There's a little lady. You want to do this too, buddy?
So anyway.
So they normally will flop over and lay down. But I think they're too excited for the grass here.
Yeah,
but,
they're not used to being in this area, so.
If you're looking for a pet, because potbelly pigs aren't too much, they're not really even that much smaller than these. Barely. So if you're looking for a pet, you know, I would look at the KuneKunes, because not only are they, you know, of a similar size, their general personality is better.
Yes.
I find. And the colorings that you can get. You know, so these are pretty basic, but some you can get that are white and brown and orange and spotted, and they're just really beautiful. And, you know, when you see those little tiny piglets and they're spotted and they're so cute, as they grow up, it just kind of fades, like there's no real cuteness. But when they grow up, they keep the hair, so
yeah,
they're super pretty. And, you know, they mingle with everyone really well. They did have their own place with a pond and everything, and we just kind of opened it up, and, you know, as long as they respect the perimeter and stuff, they're good to go.
Yeah, like we had their own spot. They had their own mud puddle, but you know, they're a grazing animal. They're not your traditional want to roll around in mud all day pigs. This is what they want to do, and it's awesome because they're with the rest of the animals. Like, you know.
And, you know, back when we started, and sometimes I really wish I did do this, but at the same time I know I don't. So it is always nice to have animals, you know, sheep here, goats here, pigs here, ducks here. And it's really nice, except, you know, and in the summer you don't really mind it, but in the wintertime that's like 5 separate pens to carry water to, 5 separate pens to carry food to, 5 separate pens to carry like a hay bale that's 40 pounds each to them. So like having animals that can kind of co-mingle is beautiful.
Absolutely.
And it really makes my job to feed and water and care for them and monitor them and like be aware of where they are so much easier. Like we have Kilo, who thinks she's one of them. So the only ones who are truly separate for the main parts of their lives is the adult emus. But they still come down and co-mingle. I just do it typically when I'm around so that they can kind of get exposed to them as well. But even our ducks are with them. And, they tried to come up, but they're just not very bright and they got stuck at the corridor. But, this is so much helpful for me because they're all like this. And then when I want them all to go back, because they're so used to each other, it's a whole flock that just goes.
Yes.
I
mentioned it.
Wrangling.
I mentioned it when they were coming down here. It was a traffic lineup. They all came single file and they were like
Always.
half a kilometer long.
Always.
It's wonderful. They're just all together. I say this in quite a few videos lately, but it's Tangled Flock Farm. And does it ever fit the name? Mm-hmm. It's so tangled. Like the goats, the sheep, the pigs, the emu. It's just, all kinds of good stuff. But anyway, thanks for joining. We have some badness. And what are you doing now? Okay. Peanut was getting into something she shouldn't.
Everybody likes peppermint treats. So if you would like to sponsor them for some treats,
I'm sure they would probably appreciate it.
they would appreciate it.
Even the emu.
Would you like some, Kilo?
He wants the bag. He doesn't know where the food is. Just let his face go in the bag. We don't have a zebra here, do we? No. Okay. That's it. I have to go stop a crazy goat from going into our house. But everybody, thanks for joining. And if you'd like to sponsor, there's always treats that these amazing animals would love to have. And as always, thanks so much for joining us, guys. Bye.